The Labor Council, is that with regard to negotiations?
No, that would have probably been for that,
Arbitration?
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's all I
these are
got.
settled. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, is there any comments, questions? If not, clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote. Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Bebuk?
Yes.
Trustee Klein?
Yeah.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. Unfinished business, one township picnic, Sandy?
Yes, so after the meeting, I had a resident approach that watched the meeting the next day and came over and gave a donation of $100 for the picnic. We had talked about the fact that food couldn't be provided at the picnic. So we have been, actually I have 2 donations for the township picnic, up to $200. We received $200 at this point towards food for donations for the picnic. What we talked about, Pat and I actually, she found a flyer from St. Clair Township was doing an event, and they're basically just doing basic hot dogs. What I thought, I would like the board to reconsider the picnic this year, and we will raise the funds with donations for the food, things that can't be covered by the township expense. And then the other items would be covered but as like a recreational item for the picnic, like the music. I was looking into a petting zoo, that kind of thing this time instead of a bounce house. But as far as the
Bring your
food,
chickens.
we would streamline the food down to maybe doing hot dogs,
Everybody loves hot
a
dogs.
bag of chips, and a water.
Yeah.
Just
that's cool.
simple. We could do that with donations.
We'll have to get with, we'll have to get with the health department, but that shouldn't be a problem. They said they'll work with us, it's gonna have to be.
Well, we used to
down
have
them.
to get a permit. It was,
Right.
I don't know if it's 50, but it used to be $50 for a health department permit. And actually, what I would also ask is if we're going to continue down that road, in the past, years ago, board members actually cooked the hot dogs. We have a barbecue right there at the pavilion, so I bought a bag of charcoal. If we could get a couple volunteers to cook the hot dogs and help serve, like we just put them in, maybe I'd get the little sleeves to put them in, and then we'd just have them on a tray. I mean, so if we kept it simple, more simple with the food, we wouldn't have that big
Did we
expense.
designate a day yet?
Yes, it's always the second Saturday in September.
Oh, yeah,
think
okay,
it's the
yeah, I'll
13th.
volunteer for that.
Yeah?
Whatever you need.
Okay. So I would like us to make a motion if we decide, because we talked about it last meeting, we said no, but we didn't vote on it technically.
Right, we need to decide.
But
if
I
that's
would
what
like
we're
to
gonna
move
do.
forward with donations to
Second
cover the
Saturday?
food. Second Saturday in September.
13th?
Yeah, 13th. It's at the 3rd. And it's always at Pavilion 2.
Okay, well, yeah, I need to take a motion to keep the picnic alive and organize for donations. I guess I don't know who that's going to be. We also need to direct our staff that will be open to taking no donations so they can
Right,
receive them here.
which we already have
Yeah, okay.
in the system, the first 200 that came in.
But we'll put that all in the motion then. I make that motion, and we go ahead and do
To
that.
accept donations for,
Yeah, volunteers and that stuff will follow down the line, Jim. We could say to work on that and get volunteer lists and all that, but
Sure.
picnic is on, basically.
I appreciate that.
Cool.
I'll make a motion on that, we continue and have the picnic this year, accepting donations for food
That's what I
to
just said,
cover
but I'll
those
support it
costs.
now.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody okay with that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Was it
Thank you.
Let's do a roll call because we're spending money. I mean, I don't have dollars, but we will be spending the money. Clerk Smith, yes. Treasurer Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Bebuk?
Yes.
Trustee Klein?
Yeah.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Supervisor
Yes.
Westrick? Thank you.
All right,
Thank you
thanks.
for the roll call.
Okay, old business two, the purchasing policy. Everybody get a chance to look it over. I don't believe we got any responses for changes. This kind of follows what we found in surrounding areas. I don't see anything, any comments or questions? If not, I make a motion to approve this as presented.
Yeah, I support that.
Thank you. Any more discussion?
Did you make the motion?
Yeah. Do we need any roll call or just all in favor on that?
All in favor. All in favor.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Employee handbook, same thing, we didn't get any feedback on that, a couple typos and stuff, I believe, Cindy found and was looking over. So this is it.
I thought it was pretty comprehensive. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
Right.
it took her quite a
A
while,
lot to
because
it.
a lot of it was,
Yeah, there's a lot there.
a lot of it was stuff from union contracts that didn't belong had to go, and then some stuff that
Yeah.
wasn't in there had to be put in there, so. I got bored halfway through and had to come back and read the other half a different time, so let's.
Right.
I'm retired. I went
There's
all the way
there's a
through.
lot there.
I went all the way
You
through.
made it all the way, Jim, good.
It was done. It was well done.
Right. Very thorough.
Well, I'd entertain a motion to approve this as presented then.
Second, or support, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll-
that's fine, I make a motion to support
Okay.
it.
Supported by Klein.
Yeah,
Okay.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, new business, 1, Board of Trustees, Principal of Governance. This is something we had done in the past, you guys, and then with board changes and stuff, it hadn't been done in a while. Cindy brought this to my attention that we do this, which is just, it used to be done, I think the last time I saw it was 2020 or 21, I think.
Usually when you seat a new board.
Yeah, so it's been a while. Pretty straightforward. It used to be done every time we had a change. Board.
Yeah, so what do you want to do, sign this or what?
Yep,
We
basically.
actually have a hard copy that I just received today in the mail, so we'll pass that down
Yeah, pass
after
it
we
around. I'll
adopt
sign
it.
Yeah, we'll do this after the meeting, but once we adopt this, we can all sign it at the end of the meeting, okay?
Got it?
All right, I just need a motion to approve this as presented.
So move.
And that's support?
Support.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah, but hold on. I have a couple questions on that, because we approved this 4 years ago now, and 4 years ago, and I don't understand why we're doing it again.
Because we have a new board. We haven't done it since our new board is,
It doesn't matter. It's,
well, there's new people on board
It typically was
that
done,
have never read this or seen this document.
I've never seen it, no. It's when new board members take office. So, you've seen it before, right?
yeah, I mean, people that read the minutes will see it too. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't understand why we're doing this again, and I think a couple of the things in here are interesting, because who defines ethical conduct? Collegial board deliberations, diligent, appropriate, which, I mean, all these things sound great, but it's like, who defines these things? Embracing best practices, which I could argue on a few things that we don't do that on. Practicing openness and transparency in our decisions and actions. I mean, well, and I wrote this before I even knew we had a last minute addition to the agenda tonight, but I mean, it happens seems like every meeting. But at times not reading contracts, packets not being online for people to read. And that says refuse to participate in any decisions or activities for personal gain at the expense of the best interests of the township. I mean, at the last meeting, the clerk voted for her own health care when she used to be an employee of the township, and I think that's, I mean, there's so many things, I mean, that you could sit here and go through and nail each one of us on for whatever, but, and then the other thing, democratic government, we're a republic, so I think there's a lot of different things in here that, I know it's like a generic thing, but I just,
Yeah, it's from the Michigan Township Association.
yeah. But, I mean, do what you want, but that's my opinion on it.
Well, if we don't do some of these things, we sure want to strive to do it. Would you agree
Sure.
with that statement?
Sure.
Okay. So, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
All right, thank you. And we do have the hard copy. And you have to sign it now, it was majority vote now. All right. Where are we?
I'm the-
Sewer ordinance amendment. First reading. Everyone has this in front of you, that we're gonna add to section 453-3. We're adding section F. And I'll read that real quick. It's for sewage disposal requirements, is 453-3. In section F, it's operation, maintenance, and construction. The property owner is responsible for operation, maintenance, and construction of the building sewer from inside the building to the right-of-way, road easement line, or Y connection, whichever occurs first. Where there is no existing building sewer, the property owner is responsible for installation of the Y connection and the building sewer. Stand by for a minute. Okay, that's fine. I thought it was reading differently. Number 3 is the township shall be responsible for the operation and maintenance of the public sewer, including the Y connection and portions of the building sewer within the right-of-way or road easement line. And number 4 is the property owner is responsible for routine maintenance, cleaning, root cutting, etc., from the building to the sewer main line. If the property owner discovers structural deficiencies, they must provide CCTV documentation to the township so the township can determine if repairs are needed. The township is responsible for repair replacement of structural failures of that portion of the building sewer that is within the right-of-way unless caused by the property owner or his or her contractors or agents. Number 5 is if an obstruction or defect originating in the property owner's building, drain, or building sewer obstructs or impedes operation of the township sanitary sewer, property owner shall be responsible for all costs associated with the repair or replacement of the township sanitary sewer pipe as determined necessary by the township. And lastly, number 6, if a recurring obstruction or defect is discovered within the property owner's building drain or building sewer, the property owner shall be required to repair or replace the defective pipe segment per township specifications. And this has been talked about since I started here. This basically defines the sewer main and the Y and up to the right-of-way is going to be our responsibility. It was a very vague condition by condition basis, and we felt it wasn't fair. The asset committee deliberated this for a long time, and we felt that it wasn't right for a homeowner to be responsible for sanitary sewer. Like, those are $10,000 or $15,000 repairs, you guys, and that's a lot for a homeowner to ask. So we're going to change that. And then on section 453-8 under sewer use regulations, 453-8A1, number A, we're just deleting the last little phrase, it's not really a sentence, but provided, however, a reasonable amount of groundwater leakage in the basements, once inside the basement, may be drained into the sanitary sewer. And on C, the last one was hereby, as well as any unreasonable or excessive basement drainage, notwithstanding the above provision, allowing reasonable amount of drainage once said groundwater is inside of the basement. Those are to be stricken from that section. Again, this is on file here at the township. If anyone had questions, they can come review that ordinance. But this is the first reading for this. There's no action required tonight.
And we'll be read into the minutes.
Yeah, it says adopt the ordinance here, but isn't this just the first reading?
Correct.
And so we do the ordinance at the next one, second reading. Am I right on that?
Call this the first reading, or would it just be the introduction?
First reading.
Is that
If there
correct?
are no questions or changes requested, this can be the first reading.
Right. So that's the first reading, but we don't do anything further tonight. We have to do the second reading and do it.
The clerk knows what the
Yeah.
next steps are, and that is to make it available.
Any comments or questions on that? We'll need that. If not, going to move to the second reading at the next meeting. Okay? New business 3 is SCADA General Services Agreement, something we do. We've used this company here in the past for a long time. I don't know if everyone's familiar with SCADA, but it's the system maintenance and support services. Like if we get a power outage or something, this restarts our systems and whatnot. It's more than just a backup on a computer. It's basically on a time and material basis. Am I correct with that, Dwayne?
Correct.
Okay. So those rates are about Those are Foreign Fair, they do an awesome job. So, if there's any questions about that? If not, entertain a motion to approve Michigan Industrial Controls for our SCADA system maintenance support services for a period of 3 years. I believe that's what it says.
And what is the cost?
It's an hourly cost on the second page. It's just time and material as needed.
Okay. 3-year agreement.
I support that.
I'll make the motion, Jim will support then. Okay. Any comments or questions, you guys?
No, I read it already.
We don't need a roll call. I don't
Yeah,
think.
we should. We're doing money. Let's do roll call vote. Treasurer Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Bebop?
Yes.
Trustee Klein?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Supervisor Wester?
Yes. Thank you. Carried. New business 4, Verizon lease. I talked to this guy a couple times. And I've got someone asking me for a lease on my property too for one of these towers. But anyway, back in the day, they were out leasing these towers. Well, with the new data, how does he explain it to me? And I don't know if this is crap or not, you guys, so don't call me on this. But he said they don't need quite as many towers as they used to with the new 5G service and whatnot. I thought it was the opposite, but they want to renew this lease. It was for 10 years at $16,100 a year. That's what the old figure was. The new figure they want to do is $9,000 a year. I think $750 times 12. It goes up 10% every 5 years, and then they can do 2 additional 5-year renewal terms. So you can either take the rental money, which, what is it, 9,000 a year times 10 years is 90,000. And if they go 30, and then 2 additional ones would be another 20, another 15, no, those would be 15 years. So $135,000 if we do it monthly, or they'll do the lump sum payment option. They'll give us $152,790, and I want a 50-year easement on your property.
15?
50.
50, okay. 50. So they want to give us less money
They want to give you a lump sum,
than
yeah,
what we were getting.
yeah, they want to give us less money. I really didn't know who to turn to on this. I talked to a few people I know that build towers. They don't have a clue about lease rates or whatever, but, you know, and I guess I'm indifferent on that. 152 one time. I know that if I was me, doing a tower on my property, I'll take the one time, because in 15
Yeah,
years, who knows
absolutely.
where I'm gonna be? But the
If
township
it's
is
a
gonna be
choice,
here.
we gotta grab the big bucks.
But the township's gonna be here, so, in looking at that, you're getting 135,000 roughly, because it's a 15-year lease, the way I see it, unless they have the option of renewing, so I guess if they didn't renew, then it would be different, but,
Well, if we take the lump sum, we can invest that in Michigan class and probably over that time period, let that grow. We'd
Yeah.
end up with way more than we would if we take the 9,000 a year.
well, after 15 years, they'd have to give us another so much more, or whatever. That's for 15 years.
Yeah, but they're still only giving us 9 versus 16, right?
Right, they're giving
They're
us
giving us 5
$9,000.
grand a year less right off the bat.
Yeah, $9,000 a year times 15 years is $135,000. We'd get it in 15 years. At the end of 15 years, they could say, we don't want the tower anymore, we're gonna take it down, or we need to lease it for additional years. So there's that to consider as well, you know, where the 152 is for 50 years. So
50-year easement.
like I said, I'm kind of indifferent on this, I don't really know. What do you guys think, Alan?
I mean,
You don't know?
I don't know that much about it
5
to,
years, so that would be
comment.
an increase right there too. During 15 years, right?
Yeah, the additional renewal terms, 2 additional 5-year renewal terms. I don't know if that's a guaranteed renewal or is that their option, but.
What's that?
It'd be $900 a year. It's 10%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it still
Yeah, that
isn't
would be
even
the
bringing us
increase.
back up to where we were. We were getting 16,000
Right.
a year for 10 years. Now we're gonna jump down to 9. Time lump sum payment of 152, 50-year easement on your property.
They give you some song and dance in there about why they can't pay us as much anymore, but I do not know. I really don't.
So if they give us a one-time lump payment
Yeah.
and we have to guarantee 50 years, is that what this is saying here? I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah, we'll grant them a 50 years easement. It's on Springborn Road where the stores are.
So we're getting like then $3,000 a year.
Right.
Whereas if we did the new rental amount, it would be $9,000 a year for 5 years,
Yep, then 99 for 5,
and then 99 for 5.
and then about 11,000
And
for the
then,
third 5.
So it's still only 15-year agreement then.
so that
Right.
way is a 15-year agreement. So
Another 10%.
9,000 for the first 5 years, 99 for the second 5 years, and would you say for an 11,000 for the third 5 years?
Well, it's another 10% on top of 9,900, which is
30,000.
$990 this time, so
Right.
almost 1,000.
It's only 30,000 in 5.
So that's
15 years.
130,000 in 5 years, right?
137, plus or minus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
137,000 in 15 years, over 15 years, or the lump sum.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Sandy says about, we get a lump payment, we can invest that and make interest on it, whereas,
Well, I think the other money's just been going into the general fund, I would assume. I don't really know, but,
can we invest that lump?
well, sure, if we're gonna
amount
hold it
into-
into a fund, it already is invested. We have that
Michigan class.
class
Okay,
thing,
yeah.
I mean, it's, everything we have in our bank, whether it's general fund or wherever it's at, is invested. So,
Okay,
you can put it in the capital improvement fund if you want.
Yeah, I don't know now that I think about it. So, what you're saying is,
You don't have to decide where you're putting it tonight, really. I mean, it'd be nice.
no,
but-
I'm talking about the money.
But the money is what I need to know about.
I mean, we're talking 150 grand, but we lose that property for 50 years, not 15.
Right. Again,
Or
it's,
137,000 for 15 years.
I think it's 100 by 100 foot, at least that's what they're asking on my property, 100 by 100 with the driveway easement is what it is. Because it's, it's right, guys know where it's at, right
Oh,
next to
shit,
the
that's what the property's.
building on Springborn. So,
Oh, hell, it doesn't matter. That's not that big a piece of property.
no, and we're not doing anything with it. It's been there
Yeah,
for 10
it
years
doesn't matter. I
already.
don't care
We
what you
don't
do
have
with
to
it.
do it 50 years.
$150,000 is a nice price for that
30
100 by 100
years
piece of
or-
property.
I guess what you gotta ask yourself is, do you think in 15 years, are they gonna still
They're going
want that
15
tower, or are they
here.
gonna say, we're gonna tear it down? That's the
15 years
consideration you
here.
gotta make. If they're gonna tear it down, we're out a few bucks. If they're gonna continue to use it, which I can't see cell phones and data going away in 15 years, it's only gonna keep changing.
Okay,
I
or
would
we
s-
could even not agree to the 50 years, we could make our own number of years to this option one.
I can go back to them, but they wouldn't flex on any of it. I wanted more money for less. I said, give me the 16th for 10, and they wouldn't do that.
Vern, do we know what other townships have done, or cities? I mean, what has been their,
I talked to a few people, and most of the people that are individuals have taken the money the one time.
okay.
But a lot of them, one of them said, in not so many polite terms, it's none of my business, so.
No, for a 100 by 100 foot lot, 150 grand is pretty good money.
Again, if I'm, for what they're looking at right now, I would take the lump sum, but it's me, myself, and that's it, you know, on my property.
Okay, so if that's what
The
we're here to do.
the township's gonna be here.
I'm
You
in
know.
for the 150. I don't know what everybody else wants to do, but I'll say, hey, go for the 150.
It's solid, invest it,
Hey, treasurer, you're the money person, what do you think?
just my
I mean, Michigan class is doing good.
Yeah, again, I think this is an in-betweener here. I mean, not a big difference either way, so.
Right. What we choose to do with it, grow it or spend it.
I mean, kinda, I don't know, what the township had on, I would say take the 9 a year, because they're gonna probably renew it in 15 years anyway, but. Again.
They are,
you
then
know,
are they gonna come and half it again?
Well,
I mean, they went from 16
it's still at
to
our option.
9.
At that point, they're gonna only upgrade that tower even more with more expensive stuff on it. They're not gonna wanna take it down.
Well, I believe there's other
And
things
if you
on
look at
that
that tower
tower
where it's
too.
at, believe, yes, there is.
There's
a
other
lot of them. I looked at
American
them.
Tower and
There's
we
a
have,
lot of other, there's Verizon, there's
More.
all they're all on there, and they say, well, you mentioned to me that it was, well, it's kind of in an area that's not that built up. Technically, no, right there it isn't, but it's serving all of Spring City right there. Because there's no more towers this way of that I know of.
Oh,
It's on a river. So, you know, you go across the river there, Bell River, and it's serving all of Marine City right there for sure. And I think the next tower that I saw down was down in, you know, on Marine City Highway, almost to the end on the right. There's a,
Ira Township does very well with
They've
their,
got one down
their
there.
tower income revenue. I know that.
but unless someone corrects me, I don't think there's any towers from there all the way to the river, east of that tower. So
Right?
I don't see them saying that they want to take that down and get a different one, so.
Right. We also have a tower to sewer plant, don't we? Cell towers?
I don't think, is there one over there?
I believe so.
I thought we had 3 or 4 different, I know American Tower was one.
Yeah, they're all
It's been a
different
while
ones, I
since
know
I've,
that.
yeah, had dealt with it, but, well, what's the consensus?
Deb?
Boy, I
any
don't know,
different?
that's a hard
Yeah.
decision.
50 years is a long time.
Yeah, the 50 years, that's what
It
kind of has
scares
me, yeah.
Steph, no?
I'd say go for
Nothing,
option
Dwayne?
1.
I think with 150 over 50 years, you could probably invest that pretty well.
You think that's better than the 137 for 15?
Just depends on how you invest.
Yeah.
It's coming in increments, it's not coming as a lump sum.
Right, I feel like it just gets squandered away then instead of,
That's what I'm thinking. If we do it monthly, I mean, is it gonna kind of be squandered away, whereas you get the whole lump sum?
Well, it could be-
Designated
But
to
as
be-
as you said,
That's
it's-
the psychology part of it, when you
know.
work your own checkbook, but.
I know,
What do you want to do, Keith?
No, that's for 50 years.
That cannot be negotiated at all. It can't be less.
No, I told them I thought 40 years was reasonable, because that's what they were offering in one of mine, but they said they need 50, so. You know, it's not like I know how to play hardball with these guys. I'm talking to them on the phone. It's not like he's sitting
Right.
here, you know? Well, we can go for one of the options. We can, I know he's not gonna be happy if we table it, but we can check out what the other cell tower's doing or whatever, but I don't know if I'll get any more information. I guess it doesn't matter what that other tower's doing. When it's up for renewal, they're gonna be doing whatever they want. So I don't see the point in that, really.
so what you're saying is, when this expires, and if we don't renew it, they could maybe go over to China Township and offer them something, or Marine
Well, they could
City.
relocate the tower if they wanted to, sure.
Right.
But I don't know if they're gonna do that. That's not cheap.
Right, right,
I mean, we're already giving them a cut in the rate to 9,000. Instead of 16 a year, we're going to 9 in terms of we want to be a good partner with them, and hey, in 15 years, we'll do it again, so.
I know, I don't know. It's the 50-year thing that's, it got me in
I
a
think that's what's got us all, is the 50 year.
It's a long commitment.
So you don't think the 50 is what you want to do? Well,
No.
I don't know what the heck I did with that sheet now.
Like 30?
Well, they've already offered 15.
Well,
All right, I make a motion, we take the 5-year lease renewal and then 2 more renewal periods of it, starting at $9,000 as specified. They'll give us 10% in 5 and then 10% in another 5 years.
is that option 2?
That's the month, or the annual option, and I guess I would do that,
So you're, this one?
yeah, I do that predicated on
Option 2, you're.
that this is actually a 15-year lease and not a 5-year,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because like, the way I read it,
15-year lease, option 2.
I mean, what do you guys think of that?
Because it says 2 additional 5-year terms.
Renewal terms, but I don't know if those are automatic or is that whose discretion? The way I'm taking it, it's,
I'm reading it as, okay, the first 5 years, 10% will expire, as it says, on the 30th, or not on the 30th, 2030. And then you've got additional renewal terms, 2 additional 5-year terms. So to me, that would give us 15 years.
right.
So, and we said that would be approximately $137,000, right?
Right, and that's the way I'm gonna understand it, and that's the way I'm gonna agree to it, that those are not an option to them. They are.
Right.
This 15-year total lease.
I feel more comfortable with the 15 years.
Yeah, and then if it's not, I won't approve it. I won't do that. So I make that motion, we take that option. I think that gets us real close, and then gives us an option to release it again.
Yeah.
And if you want to earmark that money to go into a special fund, I want you to think about that. And
Yeah,
we can designate that too.
Definitely don't have it
Yeah, we should.
go into general or anything like that. Just have it go into,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there support to that?
yeah, I'll support it.
Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote, Clerk Smith, yes, Treasurer Horn?
No,
If you like the
Trustee
152?
Babel?
Yes.
I don't like the 50 years.
Trustee Bebuk?
Yes.
Trustee Klein?
Yeah,
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Supervisor Westrick?
Yes. Yes. Sorry.
Thank you.
I don't know why I threw that. Right here.
that's also that the revenue would go into a fund, right?
Yeah, we
It
can
goes
discuss
into the general
that.
fund right now.
We can discuss where you want to put that. I'll have them draft the lease up and
Well, I want to like,
clarify those terms and.
yeah, so we don't blow it,
And then you guys.
bullshit stuff.
I know, right now it's gonna go to the general fund and then we can do what we want with it from there, but.
I would actually like to get an update on what we do have. Like, who do we have now? What's left? You know, we've got the sewer plant, we've got that over there.
I'm already gonna do that.
Because I know there's multiple on one tower.
Yeah, I forgot all about the sewer plant. I guess I didn't realize there was one over there.
Let me
Okay.
just see what we have coming in for those. I forgot all about
I'll
them.
tell them we wanna go with that option and then we'll get more
Okay, option
information from
2.
the other ones too.
Okay.
Okay, that's carried. 5, professional development request. These are pretty straightforward for the guy that just moved to the water plant. Gonna need some, he's working out real well. He wants to go ahead and get some training to move along to that. I believe $916.80 at the bottom is the total amount of the training as shown on the attached sheet. We encourage this, of course. I'm a big fan of this. I make a motion to approve Mr. Lenarski for the $916.80 for professional training, water plant operator training.
Support.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote, yep, Treasurer Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Bebuk?
Yes.
Trustee Klein?
Yes.
Trustee Richley?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Supervisor Wexler?
Yes. Business 6 is the truck purchase. This is budgeted,
Yes.
and it's the My Deals again. So we're gonna get a 25 GMC Sierra 1-ton truck, regular cab, 58,456. You see the quotes, of course. Things have gone up, but lucky we have My Deals, because I'm telling you, it's ridiculous, the cost of some of these vehicles anymore.
Shit, that ain't a bad price. I went down to
not.
this place, they want 70 grand for a damn pickup.
Yeah, but this is the
I told
1-ton,
them, I'm
don't
not buying
forget.
no more. Crazy.
Surprised you were able to get a gas engine in a 1-ton, but you were. But anyway, this is another item that's been scheduled on our budget for this year. I make a motion we approve Tom Wenzel Buick GMC of Westland 58,456 for the new DPW truck.
What do we do, trade in the old one?
We've been salvaging them for, I think the water plant got one here. This one's gonna be going back to one of the people, but the water plant gets one and the sewer plant gets one, if they're in decent shape. If not, yeah, we get rid of them.
Do we still have vehicles parked out at the Springborn Road?
Yeah, our director of public services is working on that with me now. We're gonna
Good.
put
Get
those
rid
on
of that
gov deals
stuff.
and get rid of them, so. But they're not something that's savable, so, anyway. I think I made the motion. Is there support for that?
Support.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yep.
Yep.
How many trucks do we currently have that are operating? They're,
In the DPW,
yeah.
I believe there's 4.
I believe there is.
I think there's 4.
How many DPW employees are there?
4. Well, there's 3 in the supervisor. I mean, the biggest reason for that is the snow plowing in the winter. You gotta all have a plow, so. And they all go to different spots too. You know, they don't go on buddy teams if they don't have to. So.
And the 4, does that include the 2006 one? That we're retiring?
That is at the wastewater plant, and that one's due for replacement.
Yeah,
So we're
that one's gonna get
it's
kicked to
coming
the
out of
curb and then,
circulation and be auctioned off with the remainder of those trucks that are at the old DPW.
What's currently being used at the park? Is there still a truck, a township truck?
Yep, I
being
believe they
used?
have a 2015 Chevy.
Okay.
yeah, the 2006 is at the water plant's a piece of junk. It's rotted right out.
That's out of circulation now. too.
Yeah, is it now?
Yep.
Yeah. It was gonna cost and it's way too much money to do anything with it, so it's too old. It's 20 years old, so. But we got some newer trucks now. If we can rotate them in, we can do stuff like that with them because before we were just saving them too long and it's just, you know. That answer your question though?
We did
Yeah.
budget for
Okay.
it, right?
Any other questions?
We did budget for it.
Yeah, we did, yeah. Now, clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call vote, Trustee Babel?
Yes.
Trustee Bebuk?
Yes.
Trustee Klein?
Yeah.
Trustee Richley?
No.
Treasurer Horn?
Yes.
Clerk Smith, yes. Supervisor Wexler?
Yes.
Okay. 7.
Yeah, and on the back of this, you guys, I don't know if it's the same in yours, but on the back of new business 6, there's training reports and stuff that are stapled to this. Just so you know, okay?
Just pull them apart, they shouldn't.
Yeah, just so you know to read them, you know, at your leisure or whatever, but I'm sure you did because you went through it thoroughly.
I got it.
All right, I know, I trust you. Okay. Yeah, new business 7, like I said, I made the motion and I believe Alan supported it to appoint Bill Furtaw to the St. Clair Area Fire Authority and the Marine City Area Fire Authority, and I make the same motion again.
Support.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, carried. One announcement, chipping will be on Thursday, the 8th of, I assume, May. Right. And, right here. Cindy gave this to me today. The locomotive, we approved at the last meeting. We're gonna do a plaque for it. I guess, have you seen this yet, you guys? I pass it on after the
I
meeting too.
just wanted you to share it.
Yep.
This is gonna be the marketing and promotion.
Yep. They're gonna, donors giving 1,000 or more will have their name on a plaque, and we're taking donations to Township Hall for the locomotive to be moved over to the park. I'll pass this around after the meeting, guys, take a look at it real quick.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is nice. And that's a picture, everybody asked if we had a picture, there it is.
Yeah, good.
So,
I remember seeing a picture.
so take a look at that, and that's all I had.
That's a badass.
The Planning Commission Community Work Session, I wanted to make something about that. We're gonna have a, May 13th at the Planning Commission, there's a work session. And feedback is encouraged there, so I'm
get
gonna
in
try to
and
make that
start
meeting if you
getting
guys can. Yeah.
Pass it down the other way.
We got those. Okay, so work session, Planning Commission, I encourage everybody to go, 7 o'clock, May 13th, all right? That's for the general public. Anybody else have any comments? Yeah, we'll start here, and Alan's got some again, right? Go ahead. Deb, anything? Sandy?
I do. You know, you're talking about the chipping that's on Thursday, May 8th. I brought this up before, and I kind of was put down with it, about other waste, you know, that we have here. You know, get a dumpster in so people can come and, you know, dump their paint in it or whatever. We used to have that years ago, and I was just wondering where I could, you know, field questions or whatever about it from different places and get, you know, quotes or something for something to do that. Because I think there's a big need for it, because a lot of the residents don't have the, you know, the transportation to get these to the dump.
Right,
So-
because I think the dump does provide that
They
service,
do,
right?
but you have to make an appointment, because I
Right.
called a couple of places
Right.
too to find out. You have to make an appointment if you've got anything toxic or anything like
Right.
that. And I don't see some of the older residents being able to do that. I mean, sure they can probably hire somebody to do it.
Well,
but
most of the toxic stuff we're talking about is paint cans.
paint cans.
They put
and
them
I
in their
know-
trunk and drive them out, you know?
Yeah, well,
I don't know of anybody that, I don't know, we can ask if Mterra can do that at a cost. Maybe they provide that to our residents, you know, at a cost, we can check that out. That if they called to pick that up, like, I think if you call to do like a refrigerator or something like that, they do that, right? So, you know, if you let them know, they do that. So, I'll check into it
that's a
for you.
good deal, okay.
Mterra.
Well, if you have to have
Appliances.
the Freon removed, then they'll pick it up. That's how it's always been here.
Refrigerators, yeah.
Refrigerator, freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have a plumber come and take that out
That's
and
right,
then
you
they put a
cannot just
sticker
cut
on
the
it.
line.
DT will
No, you
pick them
can't.
up too, if they work.
Yeah, DT takes them and gives you 50
If
bucks.
they work, yeah,
Yep.
they'll credit
They give you
you.
$50.
Yeah, that's what
right.
they do with my, they picked mine up and paid me $50 for it. That's
I'll
right.
check into it for you, though.
Okay, sounds good. And,
By that, I mean, I'll ask Elaine.
we have received the quilting block that we, you know, ordered. And we will be having a presentation on the 14th of June for our open house at the Red Brick Schoolhouse. So I don't know exactly what time that will be. We have to work that out with our committee, which meets Wednesday, and I'll let you know at the next meeting what time for sure, but just to let everybody know that we're gonna be doing that. So. And hopefully I'm gonna call somebody and see if they can maybe put it in the paper or whatever.
There we go.
Okay, that's
Thank
it.
you, Deb. Sandy?
Just, we've received notification, St. Clair County MTA is having their spring meeting May 15th at 11:30, hosted by Casco Township. I think that says FYI in your packets. Just wanted to include that.
Anybody? Ms. Horn, Jim?
I don't have anything.
Ellen?
I have two questions and then a comment, but the work session, is that gonna be televised by chance?
For the planning commission?
Yeah.
I don't believe do we televise planning commission now? No?
Yep.
I don't think the work
Yeah, we
session
do.
will. Well, I'm just saying, I don't
Commission
think they'll
is
do the work
televised?
session because we don't, we don't do our work
I
sessions
think only
either.
Park is televised.
Nope, the planning commission is as well. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't think the work session will be though, as in they have, like ours aren't usually either, so.
Okay, all right, and then, is there any update on the mission, vision statement? Because it's been referenced a lot in the,
Yeah, I have that on my desk to work on, so I had some stuff that happened last Tuesday, unfortunate event, so I'm kind of stuck for another week and a half that I won't be around that much. So we'll try to put something together if I get time for the next meeting, if not, for sure the following. We'll have a little work session ahead of time to finish that up, okay?
okay. Oh, actually I have 3 questions. And then the Mterra contract, it doesn't expire till next summer, but, are we working on that?
Not really. I've talked to other companies about wanting to bid it. I haven't talked to Mterra directly, as they said they weren't gonna bid it until it was time. They weren't interested in any extensions right now. I wanted to negotiate an extension, so. I gotta call them about Deb's thing. I'll definitely put it in Dan's ear again.
Okay. And then,
But I did get some positive response from a couple other companies, so.
Okay.
We're gonna have to decide what we want for services and what we're gonna wanna do, because it's gonna be a lot more money, you guys, regardless if it's them or somebody else. So we have to talk about
Yep.
that coming up.
Yep. Bryson Lane and Lavely and Woodland, I believe, that they're in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, we've sent the order over to the road commission, well, that's been 3 weeks ago.
weeks.
Yeah, about
Okay.
grading it. When they get a chance, they'll get over there and grade it.
Okay.
I know they won't grade it when we get a lot of rain, just because
Right, right.
it's useless to do it that way,
Yeah.
but it was dry for a while, but hopefully now with the dry spell coming into the week, they'll get it again, get
Okay.
over there, but, yeah, that we put that order in for that
Okay.
a while ago.
All right.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a road grader, so we're at their mercy.
That's all I got.
All right,
We do now. Send that picture over there.
yeah. there you go. Okay, if nothing else, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Your support?
Support that, buddy.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thanks, we're adjourned.
Thank you.